Dear students, till now we have seen two different methods for demand forecasting. One was moving average method, and second method what we have seen, it was exponential smoothing method for demand forecasting. Now let us go to the third method of demand forecasting, which is least square method of forecasting. It is also called as regression analysis. If we look at the syllabus for MMS, project management, this method is not mentioned, but considering one question which was appeared in the examination university paper for project management, we'll try to understand this particular method of demand forecasting. This is a mathematical method, and it is related to fitting the given data with respect to a straight line relationship between the variables available and trying to estimate, forecast the demand or the sales for the periods which are in future. So this is a mathematical model for obtaining the line of best fit between the dependent variable and an independent variable. This method is called as least square method, as sum of the squares of the deviations of the various points from the line of best fit is the minimum or it is least. So in this particular case, we are trying to have the sum of squares of deviations of various points, that should be least from the best fit line or the best fit straight line what we are obtaining for that relationship between the dependent and independent variable. It gives the estimation of equation of the line for which the sum of squares of vertical distances between actual value and line value are at minimum. So more than this, what is important is the methodology what we are going to adopt. So in simple regression analysis, the relationship between dependent variable y and independent variable x is given by a straight line y is equal to a plus bx. So in this case, x is a independent variable, so it is not depending on the value of y, but y is depending variable because its value depends upon the value of x. So y is equal to a plus bx. This is a straight line equation where y is the y coordinate of a particular point, x is the x coordinate of the particular point, a is the y intercept of that line, and b is the slope of the line. The values of these constants, that is y intercept a and slope of line, that is b, they can be determined by using the following equation, that is summation y is equal to capital N into a plus b into summation x, and another equation is summation x into y is, or summation xy is equal to a into summation x plus b into summation x square. So in these particular two equations, which are also called as normal equations, if we select the deviations such that summation x is equal to 0, then if we substitute the value summation x is equal to 0 in those equations, then what we are going to get in the first equation is summation y is equal to capital N, that is number of periods, multiplied by a. So if we rearrange the terms, we will get the value of a is equal to summation y divided by n. Similarly, if we substitute summation x is equal to 0 in the second equation, then this a into summation x will become 0. So summation xy will be equal to b into summation x square. So if we rearrange the terms again, the value of b constant can be determined as summation xy divided by summation x square. So these are the two important formulae. So these are nothing but some important equations. This is the first equation, that is y equal to a plus bx. where A is y-intercept, B is slope of line. Then these are the two equations. Summation y is equal to n into A plus B into summation x, and summation xy is equal to A into summation x plus B into summation x square. Then putting the value of x such that summation x is equal to 0, and substituting this summation x equal to 0 in these equations, we get the values of summation y is equal to n into A, where n is number of periods, such that A is equal to summation y upon n, and summation xy is equal to b into x square, b into summation x square. So the value of b will be equal to summation xy divided by summation x square. Now this is the methodology how to determine the value for A and B, so that we can have that equation y is equal to a plus bx. And once we know the value of A and B, we put those values into the equation y is equal to a plus bx, so that for any value of x we can find out the value for y. So whatever period under consideration, the corresponding value of x we put in the equation, we will be able to find out the value of y for that particular equation. Now, two types of problems they can be under consideration for least square method. One is the number of periods which are given, the data available for number of periods, the number of periods are odd, or in certain cases the number of periods are even. Let us say the data is available for 5 years, the data is available for 10 years. So 5 years the process is different, 10 years the process is different, because 5 is odd number, 10 is even number. So whenever the data available is for odd number of periods, we have some different process. When the data available is for even number of periods, the process is different. Okay, now let us try to understand what we have to do. If we are having odd number of periods, then middle period of the time series which is given, that should be considered as origin. So let us say there are 5 years data available. So 5 years is your time series. So the central period or middle period means third period, third year. So that should be considered as origin, and we should assign the value of x is equal to 0 because it is origin. If let us say you are having 11 periods, which is again odd number, then for the time series for 11 years or 11 periods, period number 6 will be your middle period. So corresponding to 6th period, you will be assigning the value of x equal to 0 because that will be considered as origin. Now the second part, if we are having even number of periods available, let us say there are 6 periods, there are 12 periods, there are 10 periods, then we don't have any central value because the periods are even number. So in that particular time series, we should identify the two central periods. Let us say the number of periods given in your time series are 6. So third and fourth, this will be the central period because 1 and 2 on this side, 5 and 6 on other side. So the central periods are 3 and 4. So midway between these two middle periods, that is 3.5, will be considered as origin. So we have to assign the value x equal to 0 for that particular period, that is 3.5. Okay, if let us say we are having 10 periods, for 10 periods on your time series, the two central periods are 5 and 6. So 5.5, that will be the midway, that should be assigned as origin, and x value will be equal to 0. And then we have to calculate the subsequent values for remaining periods. So let us go to the problem directly so that you will come to know in detail. The past data regarding sales of SMPS for last 5 years is given. So we are considering the first problem, which involves odd number of periods. Okay, so The past data regarding sales of SMPS for last 5 years is given using least square method. Fit a straight line and estimate the sales for year 1996 and 1997. Now you can see the years are given as 1991, 1992, 1993, 1994, 1995, and sales in terms of thousand is 35, 56, 79, 80, and 40, 40. 35, 56, 79, 80, 40. Now, how to solve this particular problem? The first thing what we should consider whenever we are going for application of least square method is whether the number of periods which are given, they are odd or they are even. So in this case, the number of periods given, they are odd. So our middle period, so which is middle period? 1991, 1992 on one side, 1994, 1995 on other side. So for 5 periods, period number 3 is the central period, middle period. So 1993 should be considered as origin to calculate the deviation. Okay. So let us see how to go for this. These are the first two columns. They are as given in the problem. Year 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95. Vertically we have arranged in the ascending order. Sales, that is Y. So because we have to define the two variables, what is Y and what is X. So whatever is demand, sales given to you, we should assign the letter Y for that particular value. Okay. So there are two variables. One is year and other is sales. Now this sales is depending on the year. So which is dependent variable in this case? This Y is your dependent variable. Okay. And years, they are your 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. They are independent. So 35, 56, 79, 80, 40 sales values, they will be assigned as Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5. These are the values for Y. So these first two columns, they are as it is from the given problem. Now our part comes for the calculation work. Let us focus on this. I hope this is visible to you. Deviation X. So always we define X as your deviation. As we have discussed, when you have number of periods as odd, the middle period should be considered as origin. Okay. So in the deviation column, if you check the middle period, that is 1993, we have assigned the value, that is we have assigned the value which is 0. Okay. So once we have assigned the value as 0, then you can see the deviation X. When you move further 1993 onwards, your deviation is positive. It is 1, 2, and when you go back, the deviation is -1, -2. So if I say 1992 minus 1993, the deviation is -1. 1991 minus 1993. So whatever year you are considering, minus the origin year. So 91 minus 93 -2, 92 minus 93 -1, 94 minus 93 +1, 95 minus 93 +2. So we are taking into account the deviations such a way that the summation of X should come out to be 0. So that is our intent. Why we are taking this middle value equal to 0? Because we want to ensure that summation X is equal to 0. So considering the middle value, middle period as your origin, and then finding out the deviation for other periods from the origin. So we have minus 2, minus 1. This is 0, which is the origin already considered. So we start with this middle value and then go backward, go forward. Then 1, 2. So summation x, we are checking that the value of summation x becomes equal to 0. Once we have this summation x equal to 0 ensured, then simply calculate the remaining two columns, that is x square. Take the squared value for this deviation column. So minus 2 square 4, minus 1 square 1, 0, 0 as it is. 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. Take the addition, we have summation x square. And last column, we should have this multiplication of column number 2 and 3, that is x into y. So x into y, 35 into minus 2, minus 70, 56 into minus 1, minus 56, 79 into 0, 0, 80 into 1, this is 80, 40 into 2, this is also 80. So if we check the last column, what we observe is the summation of xy is equal to 34. Summation of xy is equal to 34. Similarly, take the summation of this first two columns. So first, year we are trying to find out what is the value of capital N. Number of periods are 5. Second column, summation of y, the addition of all the sales value given for 5 years. It is 290. You can cross check, you can calculate and cross check. Deviation, we have already ensured that it should be equal to summation of x should be equal to 0. Summation x square equal to 10 and summation xy is equal to 34. So now this particular row, which is giving total of individual columns, is now most important from our point of view, because the calculation of value for a and b will require the values from this particular row. So now you can check, since the value of summation xy is equal to 0, you can see the value of a is equal to summation y divided by capital N. So summation y is 290 divided by capital N, that is 5. So we get the value of a is equal to 58. Similarly, if we go for calculation of value of b, it is summation xy divided by summation x square. So summation xy is 34, summation x square is 10. So we get the value of b as equal to 3.4. Once we get the value for a and b, 58 and 33.4, now we substitute this value of a and b in the equation y is equal to a plus bx. So y is equal to 58 plus 3.4x. So this is our equation for the regression analysis or the least square method applied to the 5 periods data which is available. Now once we have this equation, you can see the equation in front of you. Y is equal to 58 plus 3.4x. Now whatever year we need to calculate the demand forecasting, we have to consider the value for x, that is deviation, and then we have to calculate the value for y. Now you can see the question says determine the estimate for sales for year 1996 and 1997. So let us say if we go on adding 1996, 1997 from this central original period 1993, if I consider 1996, then the deviation of this 1996 will be 1996 minus 1993, that is equal to 3, and for 1997 it will be 1997 minus 1993, that will be equal to 4. Or you can say this is 0, for 94 it is 1, for 95 it is 2, so for 96 it will be 3, for 97 it will be 4. So the value of this x will be equal to 3 for 1996, because from the origin, this 1996 is deviating with the value of 3. The origin is 1993 and we are trying to estimate the sales for year 1996. So 1996 minus origin 1993, the deviation x value is 3, and for 1997 year the deviation is 1997 minus 1993 equal to x is equal to 4. So using this value of x as equal to 3 and 4, the value of x equal to 3 and 4, you can see the y for 1996 is equal to 58 plus 3.4x. Now x value for 1996 is 3. So we are substituting the value of x as 3, and then if you calculate, you will say it is 68.2. So 68.2, this is the value we have got by calculation, but since in the problem it is mentioned that the sales are in thousands, so we say the forecast for sale of year 1996 is 68,200 units. Similarly, if we go for 1997 year, then we can see we have to substitute the value of x is equal to 4 in the equation y is equal to 58 plus 3.4x. So substituting this value x equal to 4 and calculating for 1997 year, the sales estimate is 71.6. So since the values of sales they are in thousand, so we say the forecast for year 1997 is 71,600 units. I hope you have understood this problem. When we are going for odd number of periods given in the time series, the central period, middle period, it should be considered as origin. The value of x, deviation, it should be assigned as 0 to the origin, and then we have to calculate the deviation for other periods by subtracting origin period from concerned periods. Once you have those values of x, we try to ensure that the value of summation x is equal to 0. Once we ensure that the value of summation x is equal to 0, we calculate the two columns, that is x square and xy. We try to calculate the summation of y. We try to calculate the summation of x square, and also we try to calculate the summation of xy. And once we have these all values available, that is capital N, number of periods, summation of y, that is the summation of demands or sales for whatever number of periods are given to you, summation of x, keeping that as 0, we have to only consider the calculation, summation x square we have, summation xy we have, then simply we have to substitute this in the formulae for a and b. The formulae for a and b are summation y upon n, that is a, and summation of xy upon summation of x square, that is value of b. Once we calculate the value for a and b, then we have to go back to the equation y is equal to a plus bx, substitute the value of a and b, and once we substitute the value of a and b, then our equation will become, or it will be representing the relationship between deviation and the demand. Now we have to consider the periods for which we are supposed to calculate the demand. We have to identify what will be the value of deviation x for those particular periods by subtracting the origin period from those periods. Like in this problem, 1996 and 1997, we have to calculate the demand. So in that case, the origin 1993 we have subtracted, so x equal to 3, x equal to 4 we have got. Substituting these values of x, we calculate the demand forecast for those periods under consideration. In this case, we get the value of y for 1996 year as 68.2, and value of Y for 1997 as 71.6. But since in this case the demand or sales for those SMPS was given in terms of 1000, you can see in the problem it was mentioned in bracket 3 zeros, means the values of sales are in 1000. So that's why we represent the final answer as 68,200 units for 1996 year and 71,600 units for 1997. Okay, so this is about odd number of periods. Now let us take another example in which if even number of periods are given, we have to calculate how we can calculate the forecast. So sales of domestic water pumps is given in the table. Forecast the demand for pump in next 3 years using least square method. Okay, so you can see the number of periods given. They are 1990, 1986, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. So how many periods are there? Total 10 periods are given. Means the number of periods are even. And the values of sales again in terms of 1000, they are 30, 30, 33, 37, 39, 42, 42, 46, 46, 48, 50, 55, 58. Now, as we have discussed earlier, whenever we have number of periods as even, we have to identify the two middle periods and take the midway of them as the origin to find out summation x equal to 0. So now you can see the tabular format. You have this year sales. It is same as previous problem. Years are given 1986 to 1995. So number of years are 10. You can see last row n is equal to 10. The corresponding sales, it is the dependent variable, so it is represented as y. So the various values are given 30, 33, 37, 39, 42, 46, 48, 50, 55, 58. If we add them all together, the summation of y is equal to 438. So you can cross check the value. Summation of y, that is sales for the 10 years given, it is 438. Now the third column, which is very important, that is deviation x. Now for calculation or estimation of the value for this deviation, we have to consider the two central periods. Why two central periods? Because in this case the total number of periods are even. Number of periods are 10. So since number of periods are 10, we have to select the two periods. Which two periods will be there? This one, 1990 and 1991. So these are the two central periods because four periods on one side, 86 to 89, 92 to 95, other four periods on other side. So these two, period number 5, period number 6, they are at the center. So midway between them, you will have your origin. Okay, means 1990 and 1991. So midway means it is 1990.5. Correct? What is the center between 1990 and 1991? It is nothing but 1990, 1990.5 is the central value. Means our origin is at 1990.5. So if our origin is at 1990.5, we have to calculate the deviation of all the periods from that origin, which is 1990.5. So we will just go on calculating the deviations. 1990 minus 1990.5. So it comes out to be minus 0.5. So this is the value. Similarly, if we want to calculate for 1991, then 1991 minus 1990.5. So it will be 0.5. So these 2 years, 1990 and 1991, they are 0.5 on either sides. So one will become negative, one will become positive. And if this is minus 0.5, other values will be simply with additional 1. So this is minus 0.5, minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 3.5, minus 4.5. So from 1990.5, the last deviation on this side is minus 4.5. Similarly, in the forward way, plus 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. So the deviation column starts with minus 4.5 and it ends at plus 4.5. If we add this all together, what we observe is the value for summation x. This should come out to be 0. So that is important. What is important from our point of view is the value of summation x. It should be equal to 0. Now once we have these values, year, sales and deviation column, next part is simply going for x square and xy. So x square is simply taking the squares of the deviation column. So minus 4.5 square. So you can see that the square value will be again mirror image. For first period also it is 20.25. Last period also it is 20.25. Similarly, you will observe that the values are repetitive. Okay. And then xy multiplying the deviation and sales value, 30 into minus 4.5, 33 into minus 3.5, 37 into minus 2.5. Likewise, for all periods we have to calculate x into y. So we have got summation xy is equal to 251. So you can see this is the only difference what we have to understand. Rest of the process is same what we have done earlier. So now what is important from our point of view is n equal to 10, sigma y is equal to, or summation y is equal to 438, summation x equal to 0, summation x square is equal to 82.5 and summation xy is equal to 251. So these are some of the important values what we are expecting, what we need for further calculation. So since our sigma x or summation x is equal to 0, the value of a can be calculated as summation y upon n, that is nothing but 438 divided by 10, that is 43.8, and summation the value of b we can calculate it as summation xy divided by summation x square. So last two columns we have to take into account, 251 divided by 82.5. So once we have this, then we can see the value is equal to 3.0424. So the value of A is 43.8, the value of B is 3.0424. So the equation for regression line is y is equal to a plus bx. So 43.8 plus 3.0424x. Once we have this equation, now we have to calculate the forecast for 3 years, that is 1996, 1997, 1998, because here the values are available up to 1995. So we have to calculate for 96, 97, 98. So what will be the deviations? X value for 95 it is 4.5. So 96 it will be 5.5, 97 it will be 6.5 and 98 it will be 7.5. So keeping in view these values of x, that is 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, simply substitute in this equation. So for year 1996, the sales value y is equal to 43.8 plus 3.0424 multiplied by 5.5. So we get 60.533. Since the sales are in 1000, we say it is 60,533 units. Similarly, for 1997 year, we get 43.8 plus 3.0424 multiplied by 6.5 equal to 63.576. That is 63,576 units. And similarly, for year 1998, the value of X is 7.5, which gives us the value of sales forecast or demand forecast as 66.618. So in thousands, it is 66,618 units. So this is how we can go for two different patterns of data given. If odd number of periods are given, central period is origin, x value should be equal to 0, deviations are should be calculated such that the summation x is equal to 0. Similarly, if we have even number of periods given, consider the two central periods, midway between them is your origin, assign 0 to that, then your x values will be in terms of 0.5 and minus 0.5 on either sides. So you will have 0.5, 1.5, minus 0.5, minus 1.5 on other sides. They will be mirror image, because ultimately what we want is we should have that summation x is equal to 0. These all things what we are doing is to have the values for summation y, summation x, summation x square, summation xy, and the value of n, number of periods. Once we have that, substitute the values in equation. A is equal to summation y upon n, b is equal to summation xy upon summation x square. Calculate the value for a and b. Those values should be put in the equation y is equal to a plus bx, so that you will have one equation available for the given data. Now consider the periods for which we want to calculate the demand forecast. Identify or evaluate how much will be the value for deviation x using the pattern what we have, and for that value of x substitute in the equation, try to find out the value for y. That will be the sales estimate for the corresponding period. So this is what is about the demand forecasting using least square method. Thank you.